Hello, I'm Lloyd Moyer. In today's video, you're going to watch me take a bowl that's similar to this one, a little bigger. I don't have it right at the moment. And finish it up and then do some embellishment with my wood burner on the outside. It was a project that I had in mind that I wanted to try on the outside of a bowl, and I've wanted to do it for a long time. So I finally got around to it, just on a small scale. But so you'll see me turn the bowl, finish turn it, and then take it inside and do some design on the outside with my wood burner. So enjoy. Thank you for watching. So I have all of these beautiful pieces of maple um, that turn very nicely, finish very nicely, but there's not a whole lot to them. They're just simple. It's just simple white wood. So I thought that I would try to do some wood burning on them, some embellishment. I might try some dyeing, some painting later on, but I have a good wood burner that I use to sign the bottoms of my pieces, and I thought I might try um, and just experimenting, starting with this bowl, since it's just a little guy, um, starting to try um, some patterns on it with my wood burner. We'll see if it works. Starting out, just putting a groove on the rim so I can hold it from the inside and finish the outside. As usual, these pieces have been so nice because they've been so stable. They've warped, but they haven't gone crazy. Like, they haven't cracked. They've been really nice. You don't want to go all the way up, take that cut all the way through to the top, because you'll break out the fibers up here, and just means that you have to take more off of the rim when you come in here to even it out. Now, the question I have to answer for myself here is, do I want this to be in this chuck or in the slightly larger chuck with a bigger foot? And I know what the answer is. I'd like it to be on the larger chuck if I can. I think I can. Just means I got to put a groove in here. So what I'll do, I'm actually going to take this foot away. Your scraper. I'll give myself a groove here. That's where my chuck will fit. Give myself a little bead. Yeah. Especially since this is a kind of an experimental piece. And I just want this curve to go all the way through. And I'm gonna, my plan anyway is to keep this top side very simple. Maybe give myself some, I was thinking maybe to give myself some parameters, like a line or two that I could decorate within. But I think this is small enough that I don't really need to. So I think I'm just going to leave it at that, provided that everything looks okay, and it does. Just have a little bit of end grain tear out here on the foot. Still a little bit. And you see I'm just cutting with the bottom part of the tool there, and that's taking care of the tear out, although it's not taking care of it fast enough. It is pretty minimal. I could see if I can get it with the sandpaper. Let me see if it'll sand out easily. Yep, gone. So that's fine. The only thing I've left to do is I want to make sure that this base is concave. I'm what I'm thinking of, the way that I'm thinking of what I'm doing here, or what I'm planning to do here, is giving this thing a tattoo. I don't know if that's how it's going to end up looking, but that's what I'm trying for. I think I am going to go in here though and make these grooves just a little bit deeper, just because I'm nervous that that the chuck won't hold well enough in them. It probably will. It's just me being chicken. See if I got it right. You know, I measure these things, but it's still nice to know when you get it just right. It really is just right. Okay. So because I'm going to be burning the outside of this, I'm not going to make it too terribly thin because I don't want the burn to come all the way through. Of course, I probably should have said that after I was finished cutting it because, you know, now I'll probably turn through the side of it. You will hear different, I'm sure will hear different things from different people. But if you ask me, it is much more important to have a consistent, not not uniform, but a consistent wall thickness. That is more important than for the walls to be thin. The bowl needs to have good balance, and so it's often, you often want it to have, sometimes a little bit of a thicker spot at the top, and then it tapers off and then gets wider again at the base. um, there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't have to be uniform. Just needs to be consistent and even, and um, pleasing to you, the artist. And the more you do, the better you get at that. This maple doesn't really like to get scraped, I've found. It tears out much more with the scraper uh, than with the gouge. I know what you're saying. Then why are you using the scraper on the walls? Well, the uh, the gouge is giving it ridges, so it's just trying to take a little bit of a sort of a shear scrape on the inside there to get rid of some of these ridges. And the sandpaper actually does it. It's a very this wood is compliant, if nothing else. It cuts very nicely and sands very nicely, so I'm not too terribly worried about minimal tear out with the scraper. So, right, so that is the end of the turning part. Now we will go into the house. I'm going to clean up out here a little bit, and then we'll go inside. And I'm going to, I think I'll probably do a little bit of a pencil drawing on the outside here to figure out what it is I want to do. And we'll go from there. So I doodled around a little bit and tried to figure out some different designs that I could do on here, and I really have not been able to come up with anything that I loved, so I think I'm just going to wing it. Yeah. I think you will find as I do this that I am not an amazing artist. I got a kid who's pretty good, and I used to play around a little bit when I was a kid, but I'm just not. I should stick to wood turning, but I'm really just doodling here, like. And again, this is just something I wanted to try here anyway. So one of the reasons that my all the things that I was trying, I think weren't working is I was trying to plan it out too much. And I think what's going to be better here is the random nature of it. I think is going to work better. Still just plugging away at this, trying to keep it random. Um, but I gotta say, trying to do it random all the way around is not as easy. Trying to keep it fresh and not get caught and going in just a bloop, 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 like that is just it's been challenging. Fallen into it a couple of times. Now I feel like you need the sound effects. Wood turning is such a loud uh, craft, and then pyrography, however you say it. This seems to be much quieter. Plus, I'm not talking nearly as much because it does take a little bit of concentration on my part. You see how I'm just doing the same thing over and over again. I'm probably about 3/4, 5/8 of the way around this. And yeah, like I just keep on doing the same thing. Got to break out of it a little bit here. Try to do a few of these darkened areas also. not too many, but just every once in a while. Let's do something. Thinking of Bob Ross when he said, "Okay, time to be brave." Let's just do something big out here. So if I'm gonna do some burning on a larger bowl, I'll want to have something planned out much more thoroughly than this, and maybe even drawn out, and then just cover the drawing with this, with the burner, because this is even for this little piece here is kind of tedious. I don't mind tedium, but I know myself, and I'm not going to do this for 3 hours. Ouch. This thing gets hot. Cools off very quickly, but it gets hot. So there's my experiment. I don't know how much I love it. I might have liked the plain bowl just as much, but I think this is something that's certainly worth doing, worth trying. I'll put some finish on it um, and see if it needs anything else. Thanks for watching.